Hi there and welcome to episode 3 of my Singapore COVID chronicles. As I predicted, Singapore has now gone into a partial lockdown. It's actually day 2, but it's the first day that the kids have been off school. Now, for some reason, the rules that have come into force over the last couple of days have been dubbed circuit breakers, which to me sounds a bit silly. Why not just say what it is, a partial lockdown? I guess it's because Singaporeans really love buzzwords. I had experience of this before coming to Singapore because my wife works in the corporate world and she would always come home using jargon and buzzwords. For example, ping someone instead of contact, pipeline, something's in the pipeline, that's a favorite. And my least favorite one of all the corporate buzzwords, leverage. God, I hate that word. But for some reason Singaporeans love buzzwords and abbreviations / acronyms. As an editor for the last 15 or so years, I'm a bit of a Puritan when it comes to the use of the English language. So I really detest buzzwords and jargon. I've lost count over the years, especially here where I've heard the term holistic used when talking about my kids' education. Anyway, back on subject. Circuit breaker it is, although some people have already attempted to shorten this to CB, which in my opinion doesn't work at all, but whatever. So what are the CB or circuit breaker measures? Well, apart from the schools closing down, the things that have directly affected us are the closure of our condo's swimming pool and barbecue areas, the gym, and most importantly, or most tragically for us, the playground has closed, which means that the kids can't play with their friends as they're supposed to stay home. Most non-essential businesses have also had to close, although hawkers centres and food businesses are still open, but for takeouts only, while wet markets and supermarkets will also remain open. One concern I have about these measures, although they're being well implemented, is that supermarkets in Singapore are a lot smaller than they are in the West or even in Taiwan. You walk into a supermarket in Singapore and the aisles are so narrow that you cannot avoid close contact with people, other shoppers. So I'm kind of a bit skeptical on how the social distancing is going to work when you're squeezing past people in the aisles of the supermarket as you're doing your shopping. So how have we coped so far? Well, having the kids at home is something of a double-edged sword. I mean, it's nice that they're home and we know that they're safe instead of going out on public transport where, one cough and they could be COVIDed. But as you know, if you're a parent anyway, having the kids at home all day, every day can be a bit stressful, especially when they're not even allowed to go outside. I must admit it's a bit of a challenge, although it's one I'm kind of looking forward to. Maybe ask me that again in a week and I might have a different view on it. Other things, as I mentioned before, I'm now going to exercise a lot earlier. Usually at around 5:30 a.m. now that there's more people off work, as I want to avoid as much contact as possible. Now, I'm not wearing my mask when I go out to exercise in the morning, but I'm keeping my distance from any other walkers or joggers that I encounter. But I don't know about you, but for the last few weeks, every time I walk past somebody on the street when I don't have a mask on, I actually hold my breath until they're well clear. Am I being paranoid? I don't know. Are you doing the same? Let me know in the comments. Well, we've also turned the living room into a yoga studio once a day. My wife and I are doing yoga at home, which is a whole new experience for me, but I must admit it's one that I'm enjoying. What else has happened? Well, we've also seen a reversal in the advice on wearing face masks. As I mentioned before in my previous videos, the Singaporean government early on advised people not to wear masks unless they're sick. Now they've scrapped that, and they've even handed out a cloth mask to every resident in Singapore. I went to collect ours yesterday, and this is one of them. What do you think? Not bad, huh? Although it does actually resemble a jockstrap a little bit. Yeah, so day 2 into partial lockdown or circuit breaker, and it's okay so far, but I'll be back in a few days' time with an update and tell you what else we've been up to and life under our new restrictions. Okay, so that's it for today. Take it easy, and see you next time. Over and out.